Hey guys, Heather here with BTS Nutrition, and today I want to talk to you guys about something that I know our first time clients really struggle with, as well as a lot of our new challengers. And really, sometimes we all struggle with this depending on the season of life we're in. So, I want to go over meal planning and meal prep tips and tricks to kind of help you guys with this whole idea of getting your meals ready ahead of time and pre-logging your food. It can really seem overwhelming, but the way that I'm hoping to present how I do it, I hope it'll help you guys see that it's not as overwhelming as it originally appears to be. Okay, so what I do is I just grab a notebook. I think I got this for like 50 cents at Target, and I love Target. Who doesn't love Target? Some of the guys are probably like, I don't care about Target. But I like to sit down, and I'm pretty boring, so I will be honest, I can eat the same thing for breakfast for a week straight. And then the next week I might pick a different breakfast. And that allows me to have variety, but during the actual week, I'm eating the same thing most mornings. So if that won't work for you, then I'm sorry. That's how I'm going to present it, because I know a lot of us get tired of eating the same thing every day forever and ever, but this is something I like to rotate. So for instance, I'll sit down and let's say I'm planning for this week ahead. I would sit down and decide, okay, this week I want to have a ground turkey, basically breakfast burrito. And so I'm going to put ground turkey. I'm going to get some eggs, some black beans, some cheese, and whole wheat tortilla, and some spinach. And that's going to be my breakfast every morning for the next week. And then I like to think I eat the same thing for my pre and post workout. I personally work out 6 days a week, so my routine is pretty set. So I know what I'm going to have for my pre and post workout. And then I decide what am I going to have for lunch. And one of my favorite things to do for lunch is to put a bunch of chicken breasts in a slow cooker or an Instapot, and cook it for 6 to 8 hours with different seasonings. Trader Joe's has some awesome ones. Taco seasoning is a great one. There's a ton online that you can look for. Ranch is another really good one, low calorie. I've even read one, I haven't tried it yet, where somebody took the juice from a pickle jar and seasoned the chicken with it, and they said it was delicious. So that's actually on my list to try. So let's pretend I'm going to try that this week. So I'm going to put all the chicken breast in with the pickle juice or however you make that, and I'm going to cook a bunch of chicken breast for lunch for the week. And I'm going to pair that with a carb, a whole grain like brown rice or quinoa or any sweet potatoes, something like that. And that's what I'm going to eat every day for lunch. And I know some of you have families like me, so what I do is I make dinner every night differently. So my breakfast for the week is the same, my lunch for the week is the same, but every night dinner is different. And so dinner's kind of my wild card. And I know that kind of freaks people out, but what I like to do is I sit down and I plan out my dinners for the week with my handy dandy notebook. So I'll sit down and I'll go to some of my favorite websites. HeAndSheEatClean.com is a great one. Cooking Light is a great website. Gracious Pantry is another good one. Skinny Taste is a great one, and their cookbooks are online on Amazon for really cheap as well. And I like those particular websites because one, the food that I've had from there is really good. It's also 30 minutes or less usually to make it. And 3, they have the macro breakdown, which I know for people can be really intimidating when you're making a recipe and you're like, what are the macros? And so these websites kind of make that easy by putting the macros for the recipe on the website for you. And it kind of takes the guesswork out of the macro part, as well as most of these recipes are already in MyFitnessPal. So you don't have to do that additional step of entering a recipe on MyFitnessPal. But that's a pretty simple thing to do, even if it takes a couple minutes. And if you're not sure how to do that, there's a ton of tutorials online. I think we have a PDF that can help you, and your coach can obviously help you as well if you're unsure of how to enter a recipe online. So I would sit down and kind of go through online to those websites and find some meals that sound good to me, and I'll jot them down in my notebook, what I'm gonna have for dinner, and then I print them out. I print the recipes out. I know that seems old school because I could just like look at my phone and cook with my phone, although I'm not really good at cooking, so that could be a disaster for me. I might like drop my phone in the skillet or something, but I like to print them out so that I can make an ingredients list from the printout. So that's just how I do it. So I've sat down and I've planned out my breakfast for the week, and I put that on my shopping list. I did my lunch for the week and I put that on my shopping list. And then I've planned out 6 to 7, really only 6, because every Friday night at my house is pizza night. And so we have pizza. And I'll go over how I logged that in a minute. And so 6 meals for dinner, and I've printed the recipes, and I've taken the ingredients that I need and put them on my shopping list. So now I've planned out breakfast, lunch, and dinner with my shopping list, and it's probably taken me a total of an hour. It might take you longer at first, but you'll get a lot more proficient at doing it, as well as you'll have some of your favorite recipes already that you know. You may already have some quick go-tos, and those are always good to have and stowed away for a rainy day. All right, so then what I do is every morning, so after I've made my shopping list and I've gone shopping, I try to prepare on Sunday night the meats ahead of time for like my lunches and my breakfast. So I would make the ground turkey and the chicken and probably the rice for my lunch. And I would just put it in my fridge in a big container of rice, big container of chicken, big container of ground turkey. I don't prep anything else personally because I like to have my stuff fresh. So if I'm gonna have veggies, I like to just do that in the morning. If I'm gonna do obviously dinner, then I'm gonna do that at night. And if I have something like the kids have soccer or something, then I try to plan an Instapot meal or a crock pot meal on the nights that I know I'm gonna be pressed for time or we're gonna be flying in and out the door, so that I don't really have to do much in terms of cooking that day. Just throw it in the pot and I'm good to go. So I've done all that. And then what I like to do every morning or night, it's up to you, but I usually wake up in the morning before my kids and I do my devotion, and then I look at my agenda, what do I have to do today, and then I pull out my phone and I get on MyFitnessPal and I log my food that morning. And so I'll log the breakfast that I already know I'm eating. And if it's a breakfast that I recycle, then I will save it and put like Heather's turkey tortilla breakfast, so that the next week that I decide to have that again, it's already in there and saved. And then I'll enter my pre and post workout, my lunch, and again, I'll save it as like Heather's chicken breast and rice lunch, taco seasoning, if that's what I'm gonna do, or in this case, pickle seasoning. And I'll save that as a meal in case I'm gonna use it again. And then I put in the dinner that I've chosen for that night. And how do I do that? Again, the macros are usually on those websites that I use, or a lot of the Skinny Taste recipes and the He and She clean recipes and the Gracious Pantry recipes are already in MyFitnessPal. So I'll do a quick search. If it's not in MyFitnessPal, then I have to take the extra 5 minutes to put in the recipe in the MyFitnessPal app and the serving sizes, and then I log it as my dinner. And so that leaves me with my 3 meals, my pre and post workout. Now I have holes, because I have macros left over, where I can put in my snacks. And those, I have like basically a list of snacks that I personally like that I go to. So most nights before I go to bed, I have Greek yogurt and granola. So if I have enough macros, I'll log that. If maybe dinner's higher in fat than usual, like on pizza night, then I usually have to sub that snack out for something that's less fat. Maybe I'll get some non-fat Greek yogurt, or I'll cut the granola out if I don't have enough carbs or something like that. In the afternoon, I usually need more protein, so I'll do jerky or a protein shake with maybe an apple and a banana. If I have enough fat, which I rarely do, then I'll do apple with peanut butter in the middle, or I'll do veggies and ranch, because veggies by themselves are boring. And my mid-morning snack is my pre-workout, so that kind of works well. So I've planned out my day, and the reason I like to do that in the morning, and for me, it takes me less than 5 minutes because I've already planned my week out, so I just look and see what I'm going to put in MyFitnessPal, and also I've been doing this for a long time. It may take you 10 or 15 minutes at first, and that's okay. But the thing is, once you've put in all your food, then you can look at your macro totals and see, oh crap, I'm 20 grams over in carbs, or I'm 20 grams under in carbs and 10 grams over in fat. Well, it's really easy to go through your diary and adjust your meals and your portions based on that. So if I see that I'm over in fat, then like I said, maybe I'm gonna sub out my normal Greek yogurt that I like for a non-fat Greek yogurt. Or maybe I'm gonna cut out the granola that I put in my Greek yogurt if I'm over on carbs. Or maybe I'm not gonna have the peanut butter and the apple. Maybe I can just have the apple for my snack. And if I'm short on protein, then maybe I need to add another shake somewhere in my day. Things like that. It's much easier to fill in the holes of your macros when you have it all listed out ready to go in MyFitnessPal. And I don't do that for the whole week. I don't pre-log my whole week. I just do it every morning as part of my morning routine. I log that day's food. It's also really easy to play macro Tetris, which you'll get much better at as you go. But let's say that I've already logged my food and I'm at the gym and I've worked out and I'm on my way home and my mom calls and she's like, hey, you want to grab lunch? I just finished working out before you go get the boys from school. You know, let's go over to Panera. It's very easy at that point in the day, since I have all my food logged, to leave dinner in and to maybe take out my afternoon snack, maybe take out my snack before bed and delete my lunch, put in what I want at Panera, and then see what else I need to manipulate during the day. Maybe I need to have less at dinner now, or maybe I need to cut out that at before bed snack or change it to a protein shake instead of granola and yogurt. So it's much easier to play macro Tetris when you already have your day logged into your MyFitnessPal. So I'm going to wrap it up because we're at 10 minutes and I know people don't like to listen to me drone on for much longer than that. So basically, the tips and tricks that I advise you to do is sit down with a notebook, doesn't need to be fancy, and plan out your breakfast for the week, plan out a lunch for the week. And side note about that, I do not cook separate food for my children and my husband. So since I'm the one cooking, they're going to eat what I cook. The exception with that is my lunches that I pick, those are for me. And sometimes my kids, depending on what it is. And my husband eats our leftovers. So we always have leftovers at dinner, but we usually don't have enough leftovers for me, my kids, and my husband. So the solution for us is my husband takes the leftovers for work and I eat the lunch that I've prepared for the week. And then my kids, usually I pack them a lunch. They eat at preschool most days, but the days that they're home with me, we do chicken nuggets or something simple. But they always eat the same dinners and they usually even eat the same breakfasts that I do. They always eat eggs or some type of cereal or something like that and bacon. So I don't prepare separate meals for my family. And I don't advise doing that unless you just really have to, because it's going to become really stressful for you. So I would say if you're the one making the meals, then you're the one that's going to pick what people are eating. And so you make it fit your goals. All right, so I planned my breakfast out for the week. I planned my lunch out for the week. My husband's having leftovers for lunch. And I've planned out my dinners for the week using my favorite websites that already have macros for the recipes to make my life easier. I've printed out the recipes I've picked for dinner, and I've assigned the easy ones that might be a crock pot or an Instapot meal to the days that I know are going to be really busy and we have after school activities. I make a shopping list based on what I've meal planned out. I go to the store Sunday night. I like to prepare my meat and grains that I'm going to do for breakfast and lunch ahead of time, put it in the fridge, good to go. Everything else I prepare when it's time to eat. And then finally, making sure that in the morning or the night before you go to bed, you log your next day's food so that it's much easier for you to manipulate and move things around if you need to, or if you don't have the proper macros and the right ratios that you need. And we have a lot of helps on our website. And you can also email your coach. That's what they're there for. They can log in, and if you're a regular monthly client, then our coaches can look at your food diary. If you're a challenger, our coaches usually will not look at your MyFitnessPal food diary for the challenge, but they will be more than happy to help you if you say you're short on carbs every day. They can give you a list of carbs or some recommendations for how to help with that number. If you're short on protein, if you're over on fat, they'd be glad to help you kind of shore those numbers up until you get better at doing it for yourself. So I hope this helps with meal planning tips and tricks, and feel free to leave any comments or questions below, and one of our coaches or dietitians will get back to you as soon as we can. And as always, if you want more information or you want more help, please reach out to us at www.btsnutrition.com. All right, guys. See you guys next time. Bye.